Hi, this is Kalyan Karmakar, and welcome to a new episode of Foodocracy for Her. Foodocracy for Her is India's longest running podcast showcasing women who are doing amazing work in the food business. And today I'm going to bring to you someone from the city I live in, Mumbai, Trishla Lunawat. It's a slightly different name because it's Trishla, with a
Yes.
LA. So it's not Trishla. So Trishla is a home chef, and she runs an enterprise called Meal on Leaf. And I have been sort of having her food, I think, for at least 4 5 months now, if this thing. And what she does is, from what I know, largely weekend meals, and she sends it in a box, and it's banana leaf. It's vegetarian, at least so far. Whatever I've had is. South Indian. And before you say that, oh, how can you say South India? You should be specific. Well, Trishla actually does different parts of India. So she does Tamil food, she's done Andhra food, she's done Malayali food, sometimes in the same meal, sometimes different themes. Like once she did specifically Chettinar food and all of that. And then I realized that while I by now know Trishla's food pretty well, and the way it comes and all of that, I don't really know much about her, because if you go to her brand's Instagram page, which is Meal on Leaf, and then it's largely about the meal she's doing or where it's coming from, and what is going to be there and stuff like that. But there's not much about the person behind it. So then I thought that I must, given that I've eaten so much of her meals, I must get to know a bit more about her. And then I thought that, okay, let's do it together. So you and I can both discover, what is there to know about Trishla. So let me sort of straight away say that I have not done any research. I've not asked her any questions in advance. So we're going to discover. So I don't know, Trishla, any secrets or surprises to expect? Exciting secrets.
Right, it's all open and yeah, let's just open up and
Yeah.
discuss and yes, looking
Yes.
forward.
Yes. And Trishla's son, who's just turned 7, is graciously lent his mummy doing lunchtime for this chat when we are recording. But if he comes in, he's like the chief guest. So
Yes,
we
yes,
all
you can
wait.
expect him
Yes.
like just do a little knock thing. Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So Trishla, first of all, like, are you a Mumbai girl? Are you
No,
are you
not
born in
at
Mumbai?
all. No, no, not at all. It's just been 11 years since I've settled in Mumbai.
Hmm.
But yeah, I am from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu.
Hmm.
Yeah, a place where, yeah, you must be very much. I mean, most of them must be aware of Annapurna. So the famous Annapurna. And yeah, I mean, I am from Coimbatore.
Huh.
I've been born there, studied, lived 30 years of my life in Coimbatore, and yeah, the rest I'm here now in Mumbai. And yeah, being from like a very, 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 I would say a huge foodie family. And yeah, so I mean, I must say, being a Marwari, but I mean, entire time it is all about Coimbatore and South Indian food. So,
So let me get this right. So you are a Marwari, which means that your origins are in Marwar in
yes,
Rajasthan,
yes,
but you're born and brought up and grown up in
Coimbatore,
Coimbatore. So
yes, yes.
so 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 there is you're saying that there's more of a South Indian influence in your kitchen. Is that so?
Yes, 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 absolutely, absolutely. There is not a single day where, like, I mean, at least two South Indian dishes has to be made in the day. Let it be breakfast, lunch, dinner, and idli dosa is like an everyday thing at home for us. Yes, yes.
Wow. So you remind me of the PG family I stayed with when I first moved to Mumbai in '97. So
Uh-huh.
they were Punjabis and from
Okay.
Mumbai, but the elder brother was settled in Cochin. So, and they were
Uh,
Punjabi vegetarian family, Hindu family, Banya,
okay.
and there would be a lot of idli dosa on breakfast. So I said, what sort of Punjabis are you? Instead of chana bhature, or you're having idli dosa.
The
So they said that
brother, yes.
because we've lived in Cochin for
Uh,
a while.
uh,
And so tell us. I mean, we've earlier also had a guest from Coimbatore. She runs Bio-Basics, the rice company.
Oh,
So she's also grown up there. But tell us a bit about Coimbatore, because see, our audience is from all across India and hopefully the world. And like you said, I mean, even I know of Coimbatore, but it's not a city I'm yet to visit. So tell us a bit about Coimbatore. What sort of city is it?
So I would say Coimbatore is like, in such a place where 45 minutes max, say max to max, like say with the traffic and everything, you reach Kerala, the border of Kerala, which is Palakkad.
Okay.
Just the 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours, you reach Karnataka. So Coimbatore is like, located in such a place where like, it is very close to like all the other states. And so you can see a mixed culture. You can see, the different cuisines, people trying out different South Indian dishes at home, trying out. I mean, it is, I would say, become more like a Cosmo now.
So it would be a bit different from, say, a city which is more in the heartland of Tamil Nadu, which is more in the middle. Like, for example, Chennai, of course, being one of the original metros. I know that Chennai has a Marwari settlement in Chennai. And in fact, they have sweet shops and all that, the Marwaris over there, chaat shops, which are very popular. But you're saying that in Coimbatore, you would see influence of Karnataka and Kerala and all of that in the food of the locals.
Yes, a lot, quite a lot.
And what is the mainstay of Coimbatore? Is it some sort of production, or is it commerce, or is it agriculture?
Textile, farming. Yes, textile and farming, I would say it is. Textile is, yes, number one.
So textile, would it be like the saris and all of that?
There are saris, there's garments. I mean, just like 40 minutes from Coimbatore, not exactly, 30 to 40 minutes. Tirupur, which is like, the hub of manufacturing unit. I mean, there's like the entire city of Tirupur is of manufacturing garments in every form.
Okay.
So so textile and then farming again.
So any particular farm produce, which is
so majorly I would say sugarcane and coconuts.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And what cotton, is
yes, cotton, but sugarcane and coconut as well.
And cotton, of course, one forgets that cotton is also, of course, cash crop, if I remember my geography right. So tell me a bit about your family's background, like given that you're a Marwari family in Coimbatore, like was your family into business or,
So yes, so my family, my parents, my dad, they're all into textile. So textile background. And so our shop being in the complex and in the place where this famous Annapurna hotel, like I would say.
That's you when you said everyone knows about Annapurna, I was trying to keep a very straight face because there are many Annapurnas. Like in Delhi, for example, there's a Bengali shop called Annapurna. So I'm trying to think, okay, I know Sarvanandan Bhavan, I know NTR, this, that. Now, what is this Annapurna? But see, I'm a food writer, so I can't say. So, for all of us ignorant people, tell us what is Annapurna.
Yeah, so
because I know Sarvanandan Bhavan, I know Sri Krishna Sweets and all of that. I don't know Annapurna. I'm very sorry. So tell me a bit about it. Yes.
So Annapurna Gauri Shankar. So they have these two names for their hotel, and only Coimbatore. If I consider just Coimbatore, in the entire radius, they have around 40 to 50 hotels just in Coimbatore.
So by hotels, you mean residential places or eateries, restaurants?
Eateries, not residential, just eateries, hotels. I mean, that is how it is, Annapurna Hotel or just Sri Annapurna Sri Gauri Shankar. And
so what do people go there to eat? What are the popular dishes?
Like how I have grown up seeing my family, my parents, or even me at times when I was a kid, we would go and walk, and every individual, I would say, can relate to this in Coimbatore. Go for a walk. There is this place called Race Course or anywhere close by to their home. And the next step, I mean, before getting back to home would be a coffee or filter coffee at Annapurna.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm having an espresso, not a filter coffee. But
Yeah, so their filter coffee and their vada sambar, or say a pongal or a sevai, a lemon sevai, which is, I would say, I mean,
Ooh.
my heart is there.
And the vada sambar, the vada is put in the sambar or served, or
Yes.
you're given an
No,
option?
not individually. So the vada is there in the plate and the sambar is poured on top and it is served with the chutney.
Achha. So good you told me, because when I go there, I'll request them to serve it separately, because
Oh
I feel
no, I
like
suggest next
they will
time.
not
Yeah.
listen. They will not listen, is it?
Yes, I mean, being in Bombay, I would relate the closest, not really closest, but the closest, Ara Bhavan. Yeah, you should try vada with the sambar on top. And
no, I know, but somehow I like my sambar chutney separate. But so okay, so let me understand. So everyone in Coimbatore goes for a walk, and I'm guessing they're going for the walk for their fitness and weight loss and all of that.
Yeah,
and then before going home, then instead of having like lemongrass shots or like a quinoa salad or something like that, like fitness people seem to do these days, or something keto, they're going to Annapurna where they have filter coffee, which you have to have with sugar. You can't have with filter coffee without sugar. And then you're having medu vada, vada sambar, which is like fried and trans fats. So I think trans fats are good because it's trans. and then pongal, which is like rice and ghee, and which I love this city. I love this city.
It is my heart. So every time I have somebody coming from Coimbatore to Mumbai, or if my husband's traveling or anything, I make it a point now that we are like so regular. We know the people there. So it's that, I mean, a call away, just give a call to the manager, and we were like, please pack, like, the masala dosa. Oh my God, I must say,
I love a dosa. I love a dosa.
Dosa is how it is said. That is a ghee masala dosa.
Yeah.
It is to die for, I would say. So we pack properly so that it doesn't get spoiled. And it is come to Bombay. I have friends.
You get masala dosas from Coimbatore to Bombay, and it tastes good. How?
It tastes divine. Their packaging is superb.
So do you heat it or something, or you have it in the room temperature in which it's come?
No, so once it comes, I just on the tawa, or probably
wow.
it is packed in the banana leaf. So I just probably put it in the microwave for say 30 seconds. And I invite my friends over most of the time to enjoy, and we
wow, in Bombay, like where I live, say in Bandra, if I call for a dosa from Khar, by the time it comes home, it's pretty inedible.
I would say probably next time if I'm getting it across
the
coming months, I would surely send it across to you, and it would be great if you review for that. It is
I love a dosa. And your walk story reminded me that when we got married, then we used to go for this walk in the evenings to this place called Patwardhan Park in Bandra, and then every evening we would walk, and then after that we would buy so we'd go and have sugarcane juice just after that outside Patwardhan Park. Then we'd buy grapes if it was winter, and there's a Brijwasi shop over there, so I would have buy rasmalai, and then at night after dinner, Kainaz would have the grapes, and I would have the grapes and rasmalai, and we also had the sugarcane juice. And then we are wondering that we are walking every day. How come we are gaining weight? So now tell me a bit more about Coimbatore. That the impression which one has of Tamil Nadu, and based largely, of course, on Chennai, because one hasn't gone too much to the interiors. I mean, I've gone to Malai Nagar to the Ford plant as a market researcher, but that's a plant. Is that it's a very traditional city, and it's difficult to survive if you have come from outside, even as a resident, because everyone speaks only Tamil. Though I must say that when I went back to Tamil Nadu after a big gap in, say, maybe 2014-15, I saw that change, because almost every restaurant I would go to in Chennai, the traditional restaurants, would have some Hindi speaking people, because of people coming in from the north who are working in theaters. And similarly Ubers are there, so it's easier, because earlier in the late 90s, the auto guys would refuse to speak to you in anything except Tamil, and then take you in
Exactly.
round and round things. So in Coimbatore, I mean, you're of course you're born there, so I'm assuming you probably
Yes, yes,
speak Tamil.
yes.
But is it easy for people to get along with
Yes,
it?
I would say compared to all the other cities in Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore has been always a blessing, because let it be a rickshaw guy, let it be any I mean, a person walking on the streets not knowing too much of English or Tamil, at least, I mean, Hindi, at least they try to understand what we are. I mean, being a Hindi person or somebody who's talking in English, at
Huh.
least they try to understand and reciprocate. I mean, whatever the little bit of English or Hindi they know, they try to speak back. So yes, I mean, in Coimbatore, that
So
is very
they're friendly. So in a way, it's a bit like that Bombay and
friendly.
Calcutta attitude, where people on the street try to help you out, strangers.
Yes, yes.
Calcutta sometimes a bit too much, but
Yeah,
okay, I'm
but
going to ask you.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one last question about Coimbatore, because it's so interesting before getting into
Uh-huh.
your life. That
Yeah.
one trend which I've seen, that when you go to the sort of middle India, as one speaks, which is like beyond now there are 8 metros if you take Ahmedabad,
Uh-huh.
Pune and all of that, is
Uh-huh.
that a lot of us who are sort of either old timers, 30, 40 years
Right.
age group from that city, or if we go as like, for food writers, or people going on work, but
Right.
love
Right.
food, then we tend to go to the traditional places. In
Right.
Delhi, you'll go
Right.
to a Kareem, in Bombay to a Britannia. So similarly, Hyderabad, you go to a Shah House, or Chennai, you go to a Nair or whatever. But when you look at the cities, there's a lot of modern influence coming in terms of, say, coffee shops, pasta
Yes.
and
Yes.
Chinese restaurants, and the young people over there seem to prefer that. And of course, the brands also with online, they probably buy the same online stuff as the metros and all. Sometimes even there's more money spent, in the comparatively smaller
Smaller. Yes.
towns.
Yes.
In the
Yes.
smaller, so is that trend happening in Coimbatore also?
Yes, yes, very much, very much. I mean, I forgot to mention this one major thing about Coimbatore, Isha.
Isha,
Isha is from Coimbatore. I mean, the Isha Foundation, the Isha Yoga thing.
Acha.
So it is from Coimbatore. So it is just like a 20 minutes drive from Coimbatore. And it is beautiful. So you can see the people, the different culture, the different age group of people coming in. So the attitude, the things that come in, it is all very, very different. It is
So people
growing.
who come to study at the, take part in the
Isha.
courses and all that.
Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
they come from all over India, or even international people
No,
also?
no, internationally. It is all internationally.
Wow.
So and Coimbatore has the most number of engineering colleges.
Yes. Sorry, your bell is ringing. Do you need to attend to that?
Yeah, sure. Just
No,
a moment.
that's okay. I'll pause it. No. So we are back, after doing so many episodes of this at home. I think I was better in terms of pausing and, starting again, and of course the doorbell. And it would often happen when I was recording, Trishla, that our elder cat Baby Loaf would run off, and then our neighbors downstairs would come and ring the bell with him back and deposit him. So at least now I've moved from the drawing room to the study. So now it's my wife's responsibility to open the door since she's there. I'm taking advantage of her work from home. So Trishla, you're saying that with the Isha Yoga Foundation and all of that, and the number of colleges. So there's and that's the point which I really wanted to make, because at least for me it was a discovery, and in the period between, say, 2015 to 20, when I started moving to some of the smaller towns, sometimes on work, but always checking out the food. Is that I've always been a big city person. So I've lived in Calcutta, then Mumbai, and gone to Delhi a fair bit. So you tend to sort of patronize, not patronize, but whatever. Be a bit patronizing about the middle India towns, and you think that, okay, it's rustic, it's traditional. We'll go and have at Annapurna and there's that. But the fact is that these are the cities where there's a lot of change happening, and there's a lot of global aspiration over there. And now with this digitization of India and the world, it doesn't really matter like where you're
Yeah, I
from.
mean, each time I visit Coimbatore, I can see so much of change happening. I mean, but
Mm.
obviously, I cannot compare it with a metro like Mumbai. But from where I have been, I mean, born and studied, I can see vast change each time I go. The growth, yes. I mean, let it be any industry, I would say, let it be technology, let it be food. I mean, there was a time wherein, we wouldn't get like, I'm talking about like years back,
Yeah.
not like, like few ingredients we really need. We would like, have to source it from some other, like, say probably Chennai, which is the closest, or Bangalore.
Huh.
But now, you name it and it is available. So
Wait, even
that
Chennai has changed so much, no? Because with the the Koreans and the Japanese and all that coming in, Chennai has changed so much.
Yes.
So from '97 when I was to go.
Yes. I mean, there's vast change. I mean, you visit each place. Each time you visit, you find ki, okay, so this is new. Okay, this is new. So yeah, and people are, exposed to like, trying out new things. So yeah, I mean,
Oh, that's
I came from my in-laws. I mean, I would say my husband, my in-laws here, apart from idli, dosa, vada, and uttapam, they knew nothing more about South Indian cuisine.
all of us. Like even I, when I
mean,
came
these were
to
just the four
Bombay,
things that they knew. Yeah.
all of us knew only that. Like and we didn't even
I mean,
know anything about
only
South
that.
Indian non-vegetarian food. And the fact that there are 4 states in South India, and then of course union territories and all of that, and that there are differences,
Yes.
we didn't know all of this. We didn't know all of this. I mean, I learned it in Bombay, but that too as I started traveling.
Right. I mean, it
Like when
is
you
so.
did the underfood, I was talking to you about Nagar tuna and the pappu dal and
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah. So it is a vast. I mean, it would just go like, endless. So that is why I have come up with this series thing.
Yeah, so
So
that's what I wanted to ask you. So when did
yeah.
you get into when did you get into cooking?
So I've always been passionate. Yeah, it is,
Always
but obviously
from school or college or
from
when you
school. Yes, from school.
Hmm.
I have seen my parents. My dad, he loves cooking.
Oh,
I've
your dad
learned
loves
quite
cooking.
a lot from him. Yes, so he's been my one of my greatest inspirations.
And is he a regular cook or is he a Sunday cook like a lot of
Oh,
Indian men?
regular on
Regular
regular.
cook.
Yes, on regular. He cooks. He gives me advices. He gives me tips on if I want to excel like in the taste. Yes, so he
Hmm.
advises me what is that small thing, small change. Yeah, so it is like you never learn cooking from your mom. So
You do not,
that
is
is
it?
no, not really, but I have seen her cook. I have learned seeing her cook actually. But yeah, so that is how it is. It all began,
And then
and I
and
got
from anyone
married,
else apart
settled
from your
in Bombay. Living
sorry, Trishla, just to this thing that apart from your
yeah,
parents
my dad.
in Coimbatore, like anyone else, like did you have cooks or did you go to friends' houses with South Indians or anything like that?
Yeah, so we did have cook, but not like a South Indian cook. We didn't have, but yeah, just these helpers. Yeah,
So
and
how do
yeah,
you
from
become
my
such a good
aunt.
how do you become such a good South Indian cook and that to 4 states?
So yeah, so once I shifted to Mumbai, so it was just my husband and me, just the two of us, because my in-laws family, they live in MP. So there
And
was this
husband's
small
also
town.
Marwari. Husband's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
Marwari.
Yes. So it was like a arranged north meets south types. Yeah. So yeah, so
Interesting you say North meets South because you're both from the same community, which is Marwari. But that shows what India's all about, that it's you have many homes in India. Like, for example,
yes.
like I'm a Bengali, not born in India. I've lived the most part of my life in Bombay now. So we have all these identities.
Yes.
Uh,
So yeah,
so
so
you
I
and your husband were setting up house. And yeah.
yes. In Mumbai. So when I got married, I was in Gadarwara, which is like a small town in MP, which is a very famous, I would say, known for their dals. So
Can
my
you
in-laws, we are into
can you say the
again,
name again?
farming.
Can you give the name of the city again? I couldn't.
Gadarwara.
How do you spell it?
Gadarwara.
Gadar with a
Gadarwara. Yeah,
wow.
Gadarwara.
And the dals are made grown there, is it?
Yes. So dal, it is known for dal and rice. So we have our own dal mill and rice mill. So it is all organic, and somewhere there it like the taste now would be an inch higher. So
And what sort of rice is grown in Madhya Pradesh? In Gadarwara.
Idli rice, which is called the parboiled rice or the idli rice.
Okay.
Yeah. So that rice and the basmati rice.
Okay. And what sort of dal?
So it could be the tur dal and the chana dal. So chana, I would say entire chana. So it is got, from farm to the factory to the mill. Then the dal, if it is whole, it has to be sent it whole, or then it is again broken, the skin, removing that process.
For the polishing,
the packaging. So so that entire.
So you guys use that at home?
We have the dal.
Is that what you use at home?
11 years. Yes, 11 years, and I barely remember buying any dal from Mumbai.
And are these brands available in retail, or do you sell it wholesale?
No, so it is completely wholesale. We don't have.
Okay, so as customers we can't buy that. As customers currently we can't buy that. Okay.
No,
okay.
So it is all directly. Sent to the mandi or the wholesale market. Yeah.
Understood. Yes.
So that is how it is, and that's kind of like because of homegrown, I would say. So it kind of inspired me a little that way, and then being alone in Mumbai made me try out all the different dishes, I would say. Yeah. Learning.
So in Mumbai, when you were learning different dishes, how? Like, would you attend cooking schools or YouTube or recipe books? Or so how did you learn, or did you reach out to someone in the family?
So my go-to person was always my dad or my mom. My go-to people are these two of them.
Mom and dad.
So just one call away, and I'm like, my mom and dad, yes.
I'm sorry, I'm repeating a few things because the connection seems to be a bit weak now. Sometimes it gets fixed when you save the file. So don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my go-to person was always my mom and dad. And I kind of I kind of recollect first of what are the ingredients or the method. And then I quick call to them before just making it so this, is it right? Is it wrong? Correct me. So it was always hard.
And now at home with the two of you and your kid, this thing, do you eat South Indian food on a regular basis at home, or is it more like Marwari?
Regular basis, yeah.
So even husband?
One South Indian every day, yes.
Even
day.
Husband?
Any one meal. So let it be a simple run. Oh, he loves. Now everybody are a fan of meal on leave, I would say. Yes, everybody are. Yeah, especially just like in a week of making idli or the dosa, and you'll be like, don't you think it's been too many days? I'm like, okay.
Years since you made it. So there's more likely to have idlis in your house than say dal bati churma or curry kachori.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so now since you mentioned meal on leaf, which is your brand, so tell me a bit about this. That when did the idea come for it? When did you actually launch it? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so that there's this story for it. During lockdown, was it? That is when it all started. But I always had a dream, I would say, just starting up a proper, authentic. I would say still Bombay doesn't have that authentic South Indian taste or the flavor or the ingredients that has to be there. I mean, completely in a restaurant. So I always had this thinking, I want to come up with a restaurant, a small one, which I mean, then later on my son and, everything. So I was like, okay, let it go. I mean, just let be happy with the home cooking thing. And the lockdown thing happened and I had my parents over and my sister. So they were all stuck with me, I would say. Yeah,
So this is the first lockdown, 2020?
First lockdown, 2020, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so they usually visit, I call them, or visit me during the month of March, Feb and March. So that is when I get all my pickles done from my parents. I mean, from my mom especially. So yeah, there are around 8 to 10 varieties of pickles and I get to learn. So yeah. So that is when, I mean, in 2020, they came over and, they were stuck. And that is when, the experiment thing of the cuisine, experiment of a different variety of food started.
Okay.
That happened and, that thought came into, yeah, I should start up with something in food, probably, let it be any cuisine.
Okay.
And that happened. And then we had to travel. We went to our native, to my in-laws, Gadarwara. And again, over there, it was new. People had tried, I mean, family had tried meal on leaf, but not completely. But during that time, again, exploring over there with the limited ingredients, I would say, that was available. And I actually carried most of my stuff from Bombay to Gadarwara. And that is when, I mean, my father-in-law, again, my great inspiration, he was the one who pushed me for this.
Oh, really? So
yes.
your birth father taught you to cook, and your father-in-law pushed you into this business. Yes. So it's wow.
Yes, he was like a great push. He was like, why don't you do it? Wow. I mean, we just put this thought across to him.
It's very interesting that, I'm sorry to interject, but, there's this lady in, Delhi who runs Marwari Khana and is very, very successful. So she was saying that she had to, counter the Abhilasha Jain, and she had to counter the elders in the family, especially her dad and all that, because they came from the point of view that if you're a Marwari and you start cooking and selling food, then people will think that the family has gone down on bad times, which it wasn't. But I guess that perhaps because you were a bit away from, North India and, Rajasthan and Delhi, perhaps maybe your fathers were a bit more progressive. Father and father-in-law.
I mean, before marriage, I used to help my dad in his business.
Okay.
So his style store. And, so that way he's always been, pushing us, yes, you need to do something on your own.
And then father-in-law also.
Oh, yes. He has always motivated. He has given me that push. You need to do it. I had there is this couple friend of mine. I would like to mention their name, Siddharth Mehta and Kanan Mehta. I mean, really close friend of mine. So they enjoy my, I mean, meal on leaf or any cuisine that I made. So just before.
So they're from Bombay. They're from Mumbai.
From Bombay, yes,
Siddharth
from Bombay.
Okay.
Yes. So they are from Bombay, and just before I left for the second trip, I mean, to Gadarwara during the lockdown, they had this, and they were like, you should start it up. So that thought, I mean, just grew in. I went to my in-laws, and I just put this thought across to my father-in-law. And he was like, you should. He didn't give a second thought, like, why? No ifs, no buts. In fact, my husband, he was like, are you sure you really want to do it?
Achha, Abhilasha's case was different. Husband was very supportive, but her father wasn't not that supportive.
Okay, so over here, I mean, my husband, yes, he is. He was and he is.
But he was not like, like...
Down the line, yeah, he had back of his mind, home, child, and, starting it up. How would it be? So, but my father-in-law, he was like, just go for it. you know,
And you've never worked before this, right? I mean,
no,
you've
not
helped the
really.
family
With
business,
my
but
husband.
you've not really had a career.
Yeah, here and there with my husband and his business. Yeah,
But
but
not really like a career, either your own business or work. I mean, you've
no,
not. I mean, so
really, no.
in this sort of, if I might say, I don't know if it's okay to say middle age, or at least after you become a mom and all that. Now is when you've started a career,
Yes, yes.
and pushed by both father and father-in-law. So that's wonderful. So then how did that that drive and that thing then translate into the business? So what was the
Yeah.
planning which
So,
went in? Because your thing is very different. So first of all, you made a decision is going to be South Indian food and not Rajasthani.
yes,
Because see,
yes.
Rajasthani food is also not really available in Mumbai that much,
Not much, not much.
Uh,
Yes, yes,
but you
yes.
took a
Not.
conscious call. You don't want to go to Rajasthani
Yeah,
Marwari
so
food. You want to do.
my forte, I would say, I mean, is more, I mean, towards the North, I mean, South Indian. North Indian, I do, but it is just the basic, the regular ones, or probably try out the
So
new.
so you decided to back your strengths. Like for example, I'm Bengali, but I might say that I actually cook Chinese and some of the Italian dishes better than maybe some of the
And
Bengali dishes. So
yes, yes.
so it's not that you said that okay, I'm Marwari and therefore I'll use that identity. Okay, great. Now I'm
Yeah.
just trying to make these points also
So
to
yeah,
those
my
listening, because
father, he gave me the push. He was like, I mean, whatever it takes, you should, you just, you plan it out here. Once you reach Mumbai, once you get back, I would want you to, like, right away, go ahead and, plan out and work out and, start it.
wow,
So
he
I
sounds like a
remember
life coach.
that day.
Nowadays, people hire life coaches to do this nowadays. Okay, so kya hua? You came to Bombay and then?
I came to Bombay. It was my birthday, and September 4th, I came that day, and that day itself, I mean, all it took was like, connect with people from where I could source, I mean, for my packaging, because that was what I actually wanted. So on my way back from Gadarwara to Bombay, I had been to one of these hotels wherein I had not seen these organic containers earlier. I had seen, but they would say it is 100%, but it wasn't. So when I came on my way, they had packed food wherein, I mean, the food was in this 100% organic container.
So biodegradable also.
Yes, biodegradable.
And where was this, in Bombay or on our way back?
No, so it was from Indore. I mean, we were traveling. Yeah.
You came by train or like?
No, by road.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course, lockdown and all.
Yeah, the lockdown season. Yes. So that was like, it's tricky. Yeah. Okay. So when I have to, I mean, when I'm going to start, I have to, first thing is source for these containers.
Yes, because your meals also elaborate. So there will be so many plastic dabbas otherwise and all that.
Yeah. So the food, my main concern was I didn't want the food to go in plastic. I mean, the plastic containers. So let it be the pickles, the condiments, which I...
Whatever, yeah. You can't...
Because that doesn't sustain well in the organic ones. So I made my mind like, 100% I wanted 100% organic packaging. So came back and, I went through like, little bit of R&D.
Sorry, do you need to attend to the bell?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, no, I'll pause. Do you need to attend to the bell? I was telling Trishla, let me resume because sometimes I forget to click on resume. So Trishla, you were talking about the organic packaging, and I'm sure that added to the cost also because organic packaging is expensive.
Yes, it is. But I was like, when you're giving something, it better be the best. So yeah, so it took me like, a couple of days to do the R&D on from where I can source, who is giving me, I mean, the costing and, all that happened. The ingredient stuff and the cooking part, I was like, I have no issues because I had the best of the ingredients coming in from South, from my dad. I mean,
and dal and rice from
dal and rice
from husband.
Yes. Yeah. So both the combination, and it took like a month to put in the meal and what has to go, what goes well with what.
Because you have different combinations. You have you have Chettinad. This coming week, I saw you doing Tamil. Of course, everything vegetarian. You do on the vegetarian side of South
On
Indian.
the
Then there was a lovely
yes,
Andhra meal which one had and stuff. And
yes,
I've traveled a decent amount in South India.
South,
So
yeah,
I mean, I can say that first of all, I mean, apart from the food itself being very well balanced, but also there's a fair bit of authenticity, and of course there would be a bit of a mismatch, bit of a gap between commercial eating, which is what I'm exposed to, and home. So
right, right.
keeping that in mind, I mean, you know that I mean, I was surprised to hear that you are Marwari.
Yes, yes. Oh,
I mean,
everybody
as
can
it is, I thought that
like
okay, you're one part of South India and doing 3-4 parts, but now
right.
you're a Marwari. This is like,
Yeah. So
but it's fabulous food like which you do, like
yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
So how
Yeah.
do you plan out the menus or the themes?
So I kind of like, I do a little bit of study, like knowing what, I mean, say festive wise, or say, I mean, the dishes, whatever, like, going to like different restaurants from like, in the childhood, recollecting what were their menu, what all served on the banana leaf. So I sit and like, study on it, and, try and make a list of what goes well with what. And I discuss it with my family, my dad, my sister, my brother. So I discuss it with them, my husband. So now, like, it become a routine. So I make up the menu, I come up like, with different choices. And then, I mean, I'm like, okay, so this menu goes well with these. So I can come up with this for this week. And I mean, the response. So I go up with like a limited, say 15 to
And
20 boxes.
and do you do only the weekend menu, or do you also do ad hoc if during the week someone gets in
Uh,
touch with you?
yes, yes. So it is only, I used to do weekly twice earlier, but considering my son's school timings, which is increased a little now. So I was like, I don't want to like,
Neglect it.
yeah. I mean, both of them clashing. So I was like, let's just concentrate on one. And then once I came up with just the weekend one.
Okay. And does
So
his son
yeah.
help you? Does
Oh,
his son
he
help
loves,
you?
he loves. Yes, he loves,
What does he
doing
do
the
in the
sticker.
packing?
The sticker. So he loves doing on the small containers. He like,
Uh,
that I, no matter I wake up late or what,
uh,
I want to do it.
uh.
So he loves doing that. Yes.
Okay. Now,
So yeah, discuss. Yeah, with family, I come up, and I
this
have like, in Andhra. So when I came up with this Andhra meal, I had to discuss a little more in depth with my sister there. Like, you
also
need
your
to
sister
help
lives
me.
in Andhra.
Yeah, I have, my cousin living in Andhra, and I have my sibling living in Trichy.
Okay, sorry, your screen
So
is uh, so you have cousins and sisters in Andhra and Trichy. So you get
Trichy,
all
yes.
the wow. That's the advantage of Marwari, no? Marwaris and Gujaratis are everywhere. If you wanted to, you could even do like Scottish or Cantonese or any of that. I'm just okay.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
one thing which I want to ask, like see, there's one thing which is cooking for family or your friends, Siddharth and Kanan, or in-laws. But when you're cooking commercially, there are certain things which come into play. Which is one is consistency. Like if you're doing the same menu, it should taste similar the next time because there's a certain
Yes.
expectation. Then volumes that everyone gets the same portion, or
Yes.
things like that. And also there's a difference between like cooking large quantities versus small quantities. Like there's
Yes.
certain dishes which can be cooked in large, but people find it difficult to small. Similarly,
Yes.
people who do only small. So how did you sort of do all of this? Because see, is it only you cooking, or does anyone help you?
No.
Like
So
help us?
only me, and I have helping hands. I have like
Huh.
4 staffs who they help me in the chopping, or like the other the back office, I would
The
say.
sous chefs or the prep chefs, yeah. But all the cooking, the putting together of the dishes is
Yes,
you.
it's all
So
completely.
how long does the preparation take? Because for a
So I
given meal,
start
because
around.
Trishla's meals have anything between like say at least 10 items. I'm saying with the, sides, rice, curd, chutney, probably a bit more.
But yes.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm
regular-
just to give you an idea. Yeah.
yeah, the regular meal on leaf, I have around 24 of them, 23 to 24 items, which
Sets.
yes, yes, yeah,
24 items. Okay.
24 of them in the meal on leaf box, which is like, my regular meal.
Huh.
When I do like, a different menu, so it differs.
No, so
the
the preparation for each meal takes you how long? Like when do you start? It's on the Sunday.
So we started early in the morning, say around 5. The back office work starts morning 5. The chopping.
On the day the delivery happens.
On the day, yes.
The delivery.
So
the shopping happens the previous day of the vegetables.
No. So it is in morning 5 onwards. So I start my major cooking at 7. So I keep my clocks at 7. I have to start with the cooking process.
And the shopping of the vegetables and all that?
So it is from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you're full South Indian, huh? Like South Indians wake up very early.
Yeah, so only the podi and the ghee, the salt, the pickle, that packaging, yes, we do it in the night. But the remaining, the chutneys, the porial, everything else, it is done in the morning. Because my thing was, I don't want anything to be gone wherein, like, the slightest of change in taste, I wouldn't.
In fact, I must say, Trishla, the last time I had a meal, which is Andhra, maybe like a couple of Sundays back or something. Yeah. So I'd said yes to you when the menu came up 2-3 days before that. But then that Saturday, Sunday, suddenly I had a sore throat and my stomach suddenly went on Saturday night. So, one was having home food. Then your food came. So I thought, okay. But I must say that, it was like home food. So first of all, it was vegetarian, which I would have preferred, since I was a bit stomach and all that. But it was almost like if someone had cooked from their home, which you had done, like say if a friend had cooked and sent it or something. It was like that. So like it didn't bother my throat, and of course the rasam was there, which is very good. One or two things like the packaged buttermilk I kept to have later.
Yes.
Like anyway. So so now I sort of understand. So which means that from 5 in the morning shopping, this, that, so 7. So your customers like me perhaps are sleeping and then they wake up at 10:30, Bombay, Bandra, take the newspaper. And I remember your last meal, maybe I'm not the yardstick, but I think your food came in when I was having breakfast, your lunch thing, which is not a problem. I mean, I had lunch at 3, so. but I'm amazed by the amount of hard work or efficiency which goes in because of then packing them, shutting the boxes. And delivery, you use the apps like VFast and all that?
Yeah, so VFast and yes, VFast and Porter. So yeah,
it goes all over Bombay, and it goes all over
across Mumbai.
And
yes. So I even Virar, Vasai to Navi Mumbai, Kharghar, everywhere.
Wow.
Yes,
tell me a bit about your customers and the response. Like, how's it been? Like, have you seen a change happening over? You started in September 20, is it?
October
20.
October.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's been 1.5 years almost.
1.5 years. Yes.
Have you seen any changes in the customers? Are they more repeat? Are there new people coming in?
Oh yes. I have seen, like, I mean, it is not particular. So many people say, like, South Indian ordering or a Gujarati, family ordering. I would say, I mean, everybody. It is not like a particular. What do you say? A religion or a particular caste. I mean, ordering. There is everyone.
Because that's what Bombay is. Mumbai has people from all over.
Mumbai, exactly. And
so you have people from all communities.
All communities. Yeah, there are few clients week on week. I mean, they eagerly wait. What is new that is coming up? What is new that you are going to serve us? So
I must tell you one thing, that as a Bengali, especially when growing up, like Sunday was the day when one would have meat. The other days would be fish, which we didn't consider non-veg. So Sunday, but of course now one has it more frequently. But still, Sunday afternoon was always like meant for like so when you call in from home chefs, we largely call in from say Parsi homesteads because my wife is Parsi, or Punjabis or Catholics who are doing meat. So
Right.
when your meals are there, then sometimes I'm wondering. Then I said okay, but then we have it, and then we started enjoying it. So even my wife, this thing and all that. So even though
Enjoy.
Sunday is meant to be like a meat day, so I and also it's not that your cuisine is like from one part of South, which say I might like, or I'm from one part of South India. So it's very there's a lot of variety. Now, one
Yes,
more thing I
yes.
wanted to ask you, and a lot of home chefs must be wondering about that. So, see, September 2020, and now we are in January 21, 22. So a lot of changes have happened. Lockdowns stopped, restaurants opened, then again hotels opened, then again there were lockdowns, then there were more home chefs coming in, then cloud kitchens. In the South Indian space itself in Mumbai, it's quite crowded,
Cloud
and
kitchen.
many people are doing banana leaves, not just South Indian, but Maharashtrian and this that. So for someone who's a reasonably early starter, which is October 20. Are you seeing business becoming difficult? Are you seeing business grow? How are you
No,
sort
not
of
at all.
moving with times?
I have seen growth always. I mean, because mine is weekly ones,
Uh,
and I know, I mean, as I just do like, a limited. I like, say probably 20, 25 boxes a week. I
hmm,
mean, the Sunday boxes which I do. So
hmm.
I have always seen, there has always been a growth, and I do feel bad, like late Saturday, because we close with our bookings latest by Friday night,
Of course,
and
yeah.
I have clients calling in like Saturday evening, Saturday night, and I feel bad. I'm sorry, I'm sold out. We can look forward the coming week. So
So you don't
looking
feel
at
tempted to take in a few. You don't feel tempted to take in a few extra orders and all that.
on that load, and I don't want that the mismatch, or anything going wrong with the, like the time of the
So,
delivery,
so a
because
lot of planning must be going out, huh? Because if you said that Saturday 5 to 7 in the morning is when shopping and all that happens, I guess you must have made the list the previous day that I need so many banana leaves, or so many tomatoes, or so many
yes,
karelas, or
I have fixed vendors.
huh.
So we like my staffs, we have like set it up like, okay, 20 boxes, so this is the quantity for, say, I mean, the
And
banana leaf, this is the
which
quantity for the
market do you go
sambar, this
to?
is the quantity for the vegetable.
Which market do you go to?
Sorry, I don't step out.
No,
So I
so
don't step
which market
out
do they ship from?
for
Do they shop from?
Matunga,
No, so the
Matunga Central.
point I'm making is that they actually go to the local markets and not like online
Yes,
or
yes,
something. Okay, so
yeah.
that way then
So
the
Matunga,
small traders also
I would.
gaining, like, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So I, from day one, I was like, rather than going, venturing, and, because of the COVID thing, I know yeah, these people are following the protocols. These people, I mean, the vendors are like, they give me the fresh produce. They kind of like, they give me the best.
Yeah, because in
So
vegetables, so much of that is there, no? To know choosing the right pumpkin, the right
pumpkin, yes,
ripeness,
yes,
the right, whatever, the right mango and stuff. So all that
yes, yes.
matters so much.
So,
Freshness.
so I have, again, the vendor, one of the vendor, he's again a South Indian. So he helps me out, like, choose the best, and he sends me the best.
So
So it's just a phone call away for me. So I just tell him, I have 20 boxes. So the quantity you need to send.
so he must be feeling
So
proud. Has he ever got to try your food?
no, I have been telling him. So he's like, I already, I mean, I have this at home. I'm like, you should try out what I
I
made.
know, because then
So
he'll feel even more committed. Like for example, Link's
coming,
Pavilion, which I'm
yes,
very fond of, the restaurant. So for 75 years, like, two generations of the family which have been running it. So the suppliers also like this, like the suppliers also 2, 3 generations have been fixed. Okay, now I want to ask you one quick question before we finish. or two questions, Trishla. One is in terms of branding and promotion. That if I look at your Instagram page, site, your box, it's primarily about the product. So meal and leaf, and you've got that white and green sort of color, and the dishes and where it's coming from. What is this thing? But there's not so much of
Yeah.
Trishla in that. Is that a conscious decision? And if so, what is your branding strategy if you have one? What is the message you're trying
No,
to give out to people so that they feel interested?
yeah, so the main thing is, I mean, my focus is all on the food and not on like, yeah, I like, probably I just finish and then I remember ki, oh yeah, I should have shot this, or I should have like, got this, like, say the pictures taken or something like that. But I'm a little laid back on that part, I would say, and concentrate more on the cooking part and deliver like, the best. So I need
And
to
that's
work on
working for
that.
you. And that's working for you.
Oh yes, it is. It
Okay.
is. It is.
No, I asked you this, and I'm so glad. See, first of all, like I said, I knew nothing about you till we started talking. So I thought, okay,
Yeah.
we'll discover together. But I'm saying
Yeah.
that there might be a lot of people like you who are either laid back or who might feel not that comfortable with social media, who might not be that well exposed, or maybe like might
Right.
be elder and stuff like that, and they might be feeling hesitant, saying that I cook very well, I'm happy to cook, but should I get into the business because I can't promote, I can't do reels, I can't dance and all of that. So you're saying that no, it's okay if and you have a certain vision, like for example 24 meals in a week. So once you set your limits, and if you're willing to work hard and I mean work hard, I mean, you're
Yeah.
waking up at 5 and if you're cooking by 7 is work hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then the success is possible, you're saying.
Yes, yes,
That's very, very.
absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, there's so many of them. Like, they message me, we can help you out with the photography, with the promotion, or But I'm like, let me just be more organic, I would say.
Yeah,
I mean, let me
and plus some of that
forward.
will also take an expenditure, which not everyone might have the resource. Like you might take that money and put it into your raw material, like you're going for organic rice and dal,
Yes,
and
yes,
like a
yes.
good vendor.
Yes.
So you might have to then take that money a bit away from that and put it into marketing expense. See, it's of course a personal. It's a personal call, for each person their
Yeah.
own. Yeah, some people might want to
Yeah,
expand
no,
the
there are
business and.
people who have told me, suggested, I would say, they have told me that, why don't you like, just go to this wholesale market to pick it up yourself. I was like, I don't want to go into that crowd. I don't want to go
No.
into like, where the people are doing it. I want the best. I want like, say
And
now, how would I say?
and people are looking forward to your meal. So in a way, you are
Yes.
like a frontline worker. So I mean, touch wood. I mean, one would not want anything to happen to you or your family, even otherwise. But from a
Yes.
selfish point of view, like people who look forward to your food, if you are, unwell and this thing. So I think everyone's sort of like the
Yes.
love and
Couple of
this
times.
thing which the food is you're
Yeah.
generating. All the happiness which the food is generating will hopefully sort of look after you. And any plans in the future to expand the business, or
So
right now
yeah,
you're
a little bit of planning is happening. Yeah, so yeah, let's see. Just fingers crossed and hoping for the best. I mean, just for the expanding part, yes, there are people like, why don't you like, give us the franchisee? We would want to do it, and not in Mumbai, but outside Mumbai as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm like, I've just started it. It's just been a year. I need to work more on it rather than just give away the entire thing, or I wouldn't want that. I wanted like for myself. It's just like I would say a hobby. Just cooking makes me happy. I love inviting. I love serving. So yeah.
no, it's beautiful, and like I said, that it shows in your food, and I've had your food many times, and sacrificing my Sunday meat
Sunday
but I must say that the
husband
last
is-
Sunday when I was unwell, I mean, sort of unwell, not
yes,
really,
yes.
but it was like very soothing and yet delicious food.
Thank
Okay,
you.
now so I also want to make a point that for once, like, there's a supporting cast of men in the story. So father taught you to teach, father-in-law pushed you into the business, son who is 7, so is helping you pack and all that, and that's a role model for him. So I'm sure he'll also grow up respecting women. And I mean, I have had a working mom, which is why probably, and working wife, which is why I do the series. And husband helps you also? Huh?
He does. So the booking part, I mean, we do it a night prior. We set the timing. So it's the both of us. So he helps me out. He was like, you look after this. I mean, this Sunday thing. So he gets a little thinky, Sunday hai.
No, that's okay. That's
it has to be our time. But he was like, okay, so we get done with all our deliveries and stuff by 11:30. So, and then I'm like, yeah, see, the rest of the day is for us.
True. So, okay, so it's fabulous, ladies and gentlemen. That's Trishla Lunawat, and she's a Marwari from Coimbatore who lives in Mumbai and is doing fabulous South Indian vegetarian food. I've so far had her Chettinar food. I've had her meal, which had representations from 4 states in the South. Recently, I've had her Andhra meal. I've possibly had more meals of her as well. Her brand is Meal on Leaf, and best place to sort of follow her is probably on Instagram. And she also has a broadcast on WhatsApp if you want to join that. And the thing I keep telling people is that, while everyone in Mumbai can enjoy this, you can order this from anywhere. So if you're in Mumbai and you want to order it for yourself, for people, you can do that. If you're in Timbuktu and you have someone in Mumbai and you want to send them some good, nourishing, delicious food, or want them to know a bit about South Indian food, you can do that. So Meal and Life is the one to look out for, and please sort of share this episode and like it and subscribe and all that, because my main objective with the series is I want more and more people to know about these fabulous stories, and that's really it. So which is why I'm requesting you to also share it, because I think people should know, because it's great food, inspiring stories, and thank you. I think that now I think your son has been gracious enough to give us so much of your time on our afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trishla.
Yes, so it was lovely.
Absolute pleasure. You do Mumbai proud, and wish you all the best.
Yeah, all the best to you as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.